going to wait. So we are going to begin now. Good evening, because it is quite late, so we are going to start. Somebody has raised their hand. Was it by mistake? If there's anything you'd like to say, please put it in the chat. So today is our fourth session in this series, Stylistic Techniques. And this time we are focusing on a very, very exciting instrument. It's the voice. So I'm looking forward to presenting this. And with me today, I have from Bangalore Faith, I have Anson from Kochi, who is leading this. We also have a young student, very promising singer from Kochi, Megha Rajiv, and we like to welcome her. Thank you for doing this for us, because we had some songs which and styles which obviously they were female songs which depicted the style the best. And Anson really, I don't think he could do the female voice. So we got Megha in, and Krizan is on standby to answer all your questions. I think there's a question, Krizan. I think before the webinar starts, the first question is, will we get the recording? You always get the recording. It's a done thing. So I think let's not ask this question again. We always send you the link of the recording. Even if we don't send it to you, it is on our website, the India website, so you can go and access it from there. So let's get going. The human voice is actually one of the most versatile musical instruments, and it's the easiest. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to spend any money. It's there within you. You just need to channelize it. The voice produces a variety of pitches, complex tonality, and it also has, through articulation, a very percussive capacity. The subtle shifts in pitch, rhythm, tone color can immediately and totally change the mood and expression of the song. So you will see that as we go along. As you all know, performance is at the heart of Trinity's Rock and Pop exams. Rock and Pop is all about performance, but the progression through our grades help you develop valuable playing skills and achieve your musical ambitions. Our song lists and the vocals present a huge range of all contemporary styles, including rock, reggae, pop, Latin, soul, ballad, and so many more. Of course, we can't feature all of them, but we are trying to do quite a few of these so that you benefit from this webinar. As a teacher and a musician, one needs to know how to play and teach music across the styles. It's not enough to be good at one style and not the other. And even if you cannot sometimes demonstrate a certain style, just the knowledge of what it contains is enough to convey the point to your student. Trinity, realizing the popularity and the need to develop skill sets required to play this kind of music, has introduced a syllabus that features songs from a range of styles. Taking our exams is not only about learning the songs. A lot of people just go in and learn the songs. It's easy to learn. You listen to it, you repeat what you hear without understanding the styles and the genres that they contain. And if you do that, you can never really turn it into a true performance. So it's extremely necessary that you do understand the styles, you research about them, and you will then be on the right path in your teaching or performing career. So these are the styles that feature in our grades: country, pop, rock, R&B, ballad, glam, rock and roll. All the rock styles are there. Dance pop, soft rock, I'm just kind of glancing through and reading them out. Dance, Motown, and there are so many of them. But today what we are featuring are these. We are featuring rock, R&B, reggae, Latin pop, soul, Motown, and ballad. I think these are very relevant styles in singing, and every vocalist must be able to feature these in his repertoire. So without much ado, I'm going to invite Faith from Bangalore, who is going to take you through Latin pop. Yes, Faith.
A very good evening, everyone. I have this chance today to take you all through this amazing genre, Latin pop, a personal favorite of mine. We're going to look Latin pop primarily originated in the United States. It's a pop music subgenre that's a fusion of US style music production with Latin music genres. Latin pop became the most popular form of Latin music in the United States during the 80s and the 90s. We have artists like Ricky Martin and Enrique Iglesias. I mean, who didn't grow up with them? They took this genre to new heights, with Ricky being the king of Latin pop. Latin pop fused its up-tempo Latin rhythms with pop music melodic lines, and people were enthralled, as we are.
Quickly type in your chat box which was his most famous song. Ricky Martin means? Come on, get it in the chat box. Get it out quickly. Let's see how many of you get it.
We're waiting.
I'm sure you know it.
Okay.
Bailando. No. It's un, dos, tres.
Living la vida loca. Okay. Unos tres was the un, dos, tres. Is that the way we say it? Yes.
Un, dos. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Yes.
Yes.
How many of us have not danced to these? I'm sure all of us have. Especially we 90s kids. Yes.
We oldies too.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sure. It's where we all dance from. Yes. We learned it there.
Yes. Right. Back to Latin pop.
Let's move on to the characteristics of Latin pop. Simple but catchy melodies. I'm sure all of you are singing those songs now in your mind. Standard song from primarily verse, chorus. Chords had strong influences from American jazz. Usually there's a key change, say major to minor, sometimes a semitone or a tone higher or lower. Then we have our syncopated melody notes against a straight rhythm, and very characteristics being very characteristics of Latin pop. Let's go through this song from the grade 1 by Caro Emerald, A Night Like This. We have a few techniques that illustrate this genre. Long phrases sung in one breath, like through from bars 15 to 21. Let me, a novice singer, try to sing for you. So let me see. You never know if winning this could really be enough. Take a look beyond the moon, you'd see the stars. So usually this would be sung in probably, you'll have a break somewhere in between, but not in Latin pop. We have heavily articulated words like this phrase right at the beginning that really catches our attention. When we start off, we say, from where you are. So I'm going to sing it without heavily articulating. I'm going to attempt that. Say, from where you are, you see the smoke start to arise where they play cards. More melodic. And then we go into heavy articulation. From where you are, you see the smoke start to arise where they play cards. You see that immediately you would want to dance to that. So
and even without the music, it definitely gives you that feel of maybe a tango or something.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, when you sing it, you will find your shoulders moving. And I've always enjoyed singing this particular song. Caro Emerald, if you get a chance, watch her sing this piece. Amazing. I'm going to now hand it over to Anson uh, for him to talk about the key changes since he has access to a keyboard. And Anson, take it away.
Thank you, Faith. Yes, as you said, it moves your shoulders and your hips too. Yes. And before I move on to the key change, I would like to go on to the next point because that I think needs to be addressed first. Singing the notes against the jazz chord. So, what do you mean by a jazz chord? A jazz chord is not your ordinary chord. In this particular song, A Night Like This, the chords are a D minor 7th, which gives you a particular flavor of jazz and Latin element too. So, singing notes against to this chord can be slightly confusing, but if practiced enough, you can get the song right. That is like this. From where you are, you see the smoke start to rise from day play car. See the flavors changing. If it was a normal chord, it would sound like from where you are, you see the song start to arise with they play cards. See the change in flavors. You can hear all the major sevens, the minor sevens coming in. So that's what you mean by a jazz chord. And most of the time, Latin pop has jazz chords involved in it, and A Night Like This is a perfect example to this. Moving on to the key change, which was addressed earlier. Yes, towards the end of the song, it comes out like this. See the smoke start to arise with they play card. And then we move on from a minor key to a major key. Have you ever dreamed it? Have you ever dreamed a night like this? So you have a smooth melancholic tonality and moving on to a really bright happy ending. And back again to the minor flavor. Dreamed a night like this. So that gives a lot of colors and it also creates a lot of interest in the song. Back to you, Faith.
Thank you, Anson. I think we're just talking about the syncopated notes towards the end. I think Anson already sang it, but I'm still going to sing it for you because I like to sing. So, have you ever dreamed it? I have never dreamed a night like this, and so on. Anjali ma'am, do take us through the song and everyone will be
Yes,
safe.
and let me tell you, I was just waiting for this because I just love this song. And I'm sure if anybody doesn't like it, please tell me. I
No, we
would
love
be
it,
very
ma'am.
happy.
From where you are, you see the smoke start to arise where they play cards. And you walk over softly, moving past the guards. The stakes are getting higher, you can feel it in your heart. He calls your bluff, he is the ace, you never thought he played that much. And now it's more than all these cards you want to touch. You never know if winning this could really be enough. Take a look beyond the moon, you'll see the stars. And when you look around, you know the room by heart. I have never dreamed it. Have you ever dreamed a night like this? I cannot believe it. I may never see a night like this. When everything you think is incomplete starts happening when you are cheek to cheek. Could you ever dream it? I have never dreamed a night like this.
Wow, wasn't that fun? And thank you, Faith. I just love your enthusiasm there. And I know you really, really enjoy this song. So
I
let's
did.
move on. I could spend a lot more time on this, but let's move on now to a style quite different. It's Motown. And let me invite Anson to take you through this.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Motown. Introduced and invented by Berry Gordy in the late 60s and 70s, Motown is a sound that was defining pop R&B and soul music. It had all the elements to have a hit, and it had a very distinctive musical style. It was all percussions, all tambourines, driving bass lines, really good drum beats, a gospel influenced vocals, and a lot of harmonies. And a lot of string portions too added a lot of interest to the Motown sound. And it also launched a lot of musical careers and changed pop music history. And most of the contemporary artists like Bruno Mars and also Michael Jackson was heavily influenced by Motown. Motown, to enhance their sound, Motown producers would do all sorts of trickery, like having two drummers, which shouldn't be done, which is a taboo. Would have two drummers instead of one, as many as 4 guitarists or 5 guitarists, and frequent overdubbing. Overdubbing means to record one instrument over and over again to enhance the sound. Both vocals and instruments had the same technique being done by the studio engineers, and they used to mix the song in such a way that it sounds really good on the musical audio players and televisions at that time, which was treble oriented, and they didn't have the bass oriented speakers during those times. The characteristics of Motown, it's quite simple. There's a strong steady 4-beat rhythm and drum beats that move on to the tempo. A frequent use of strings and harmonies were there. A lot of horns were also involved. There were a lot of pop vocal stylings embellished with gospel influence chorals. There were a lot of really thick and rich harmonies involved in the song. There were also a lot of complex chord changes and sophisticated melodies also involved in this. Now, moving on to the song featured in grade 5 in this genre, it is Reach Out, I'll Be There, performed by Four Tops. The characteristics of this song in this genre starts with a pickup. That is, what do you mean by a pickup? It starts at an off count, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now if you feel that you can go on. So that's what you mean by a pickup. It doesn't start on the ones, it starts on either the 3s or the 4s. Yes, there are a lot of syncopated notes like darling, reach out for me, and I'll be there, which doesn't fall right on the beat, but it adds a lot of interest to the song. And most of the time it used to be at full throttle right up front, and then the vocals used to mellow down to a very sweet chorus line, and then back again to full energy, and so on. Next, it used to have an ad-lib improvisation right at the end to end the song at a really high note. Now, let me take some time to demo this song for you all. It's Reach Out, I'll Be There. I'll be starting from the 3rd verse and continuing till the end of the song. Tell the way you hang your head, you're without loud, you're afraid, and through your tears you look around, but there's no peace of mind to be found. I know what you're thinking, you're alone now, no love of your own, but darling, reach out, reach out for me. I'll be there to give you all the love you need. I'll be there, you can always depend on me. Reach out, I'll be there, you can always depend on me. Hey, I'll be there, you can always depend on me. I'll be there. There you go. That was a song in the Motown genre. Over to you, Faith, now.
Anson, a wonderful performance. It was a little too short, but we don't have so much time, sorry. Town and Motown and time. Right. So let's move on to the next genre, which is a very, very beautiful genre. It's the ballad. And I'm going to call Faith back to take you through this.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Glad to be back. Ballads are an incredibly important style in artist repertoire. As I'm talking, the queen of ballads, at least for me, Adele. I've been thinking of Adele, and I've been thinking of Opeth as ballads. The Face of Melinda. I don't know if, that's a very wide range of ballads, but they are beautiful songs. It's something that I've always admired, and I have actually struggled to learn. But they help an artist reach new audience or show a musical or emotional facet of an artist that hasn't been revealed in previous works. Usually slower in tempo, most ballads are based on a predictable song form with lyrics written from either the first or third person. You have country ballads and you have metal ballads. They're present everywhere. The characteristics of a ballad are smooth, relaxed, and slow, occasional wide intervallic leaps in the singing. You have a predictable song form consisting of verse and chorus, mellow instruments used with exception to power ballads that use distortion guitars. Lyrics are usually related to emotions, love lost, death. Syncopated notes that relate to lyrics give a connected feel. We're going to look at a ballad from the Grade 3 repertoire by Norah Jones. Don't know why, it's an amazing example of this genre. Smooth, calm vocal style with a serene atmosphere is needed to get the ambience right. You have sudden changes in dynamic levels that require control of breath, clarity of diction being really important as the lyrics of this genre tell a powerful story. You have syncopated notes in bars 15 to 21. We will look at it in the track. And these give amazing connection to lyrics with the melody, which helps in connecting the meaning to melodic lines. You have sudden leaps that bring out sudden outbursts of feeling and emotion, which can be observed in this genre throughout. Let's listen to this song, Don't Know Why, and keep an eye out, keep a ear out rather, for these characteristics. Start with your dynamic levels, control of breath. Right there.
I saw the sun. I don't know why I didn't come. I left you by the house of fun. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. When I saw
The syncopated notes.
I wish that I could fly away. Instead of kneeling in the sand, catching teardrops in my hand. My heart is drenched in wine,
Very emotional.
but you're beyond my
Seems so simple, but it's a very tricky genre to sing.
Out across the endless sea, I will die in ecstasy, but I'll be a bag of bones,
There's
driving
a lot of space to improvise also, if I may say.
My heart is drenched in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. Something has to make you run. I don't know why I didn't come. I feel as empty as a drum.
I think you get an idea of what we mean and what
Yes.
Faith meant by the beautiful ballad style, the story it was telling, the gentle music, plus the excitement when you have those great leaps as well as the dynamic changes. So, another style, R&B, very popular with singers, and I'm going to invite Anson back to take you through this.
Yes, ma'am. As you rightly said, it's very, very famous among singers, and it's not an easy genre either. Commonly known as R&B, rhythm and blues is a musical genre developed by Black Americans in the 40s and the 50s that has been continuously reworked, and being, it's evolving itself each and every time. R&B derived from gospel music, jazz folk, and traditional blues and emerged in tandem with rock and roll too. R&B notably diverged from rock music in the later decades, but contemporary R&B is often driven by keyboards, jazz guitar embellishments, synthesizers, strong bass lines, and looped drum beats. Genres that evolved from R&B are smooth R&B, hip hop, trap soul. Just these are just some genres to just name a few. Moving on to the characteristics of R&B. Yes, as it was mentioned earlier, inspired by the blues genre, there will be a lot of keyboard and guitar based instrumentation, especially a lot of fill-ins that bind the music together. There will be a lot of smooth melismatic vocals and a lot of personalized interpretation involved. This gives the singer to express himself or herself on stage and to personalize the music and to also emote well to the audience as well. There's a lot of emphasis on the blues scale and the pentatonic scale when you have a lot of ad libs going on towards the end. There's a lot of improvisation, so there's a lot of influence of blues scale and the pentatonic scale, and there will be a lot of riffs and runs which binds the music together and creates a lot of interest. Let's move on to the music. Yes, what better song than Falling? It fits perfectly to the demands of this genre. Yes, Falling has a full bodied and a robust projection of vocals sung by none other than Alicia Keys, opening with an ad lib right up front, and there are a lot of dynamic vocal contrasts involved throughout the song, which gives a lot of strong emotional feelings, and which also helps the artist to connect with the song. There is a lot of riffs and runs towards the midsection of the song, and towards the end, it's full of improvised vocals and a lot of ad libs involved in the chorus section and towards the end as well. So I'm inviting Megha to demo Falling for you.
Megha, are you there?
We can't hear you.
Megha? Megha, we can't hear you.
Megha?
Yeah, she's adjusting.
Yes, yes.
I plugged the mic in the wrong thing. Sorry.
Technology.
Yes, yes.
No worries. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm audible, right? Everything's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll be singing Falling. from the bridge. Oh baby, I'm falling out. I'm falling, falling, falling. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you. I'm falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you. I'm falling with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Megha. Lovely rendition. And you chose just the right part to sing for us.
Thank you.
So we move on now to reggae. Who doesn't know reggae? Takes you, transports you to the Caribbean islands. And I'm going to invite Anson, who's our rock star here today.
Ma'am, Faith is doing reggae.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, Faith said you're doing it.
No, ma'am. Reggae.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
the rock star, ma'am. Thank you again. Most of us grew up listening to Buffalo Soldier or No Woman, No Cry, with no thought of genre and just how cool it sounded. Yes, I'm talking about another popular favorite, reggae. Let's take a look at this song. But before that, reggae is a genre of West Indian origin, instantly associated with the iconic Bob Marley and the Rastafarians. Reggae was born when music found the uptempo ska too demanding in the hot summer sun and slowed it down. Thus, reggae was born. Over time, reggae has proven itself to be as versatile as the blues, evolving into many subgenres like reggaeton, reggae, and reggae step. Let's go on to our song for today, reggae, the reggae song in grade 1. The Tide is High, originally sung by the Paragons, but Atomic Kitten ran with this and made it ever so popular. We now use this version in our grade 1 repertoire. Dare I call it reggae pop? The unique rhythm of accents on beat 2 and 4 is the reggae trademark. We're going back to characteristics. Most of the songs in this line have a typical Caribbean accent. Lyrically, most of the songs are based on survival and fighting for freedom, being number one, being up there. Catchy melodic lines with sing-along choruses, something that we were all very familiar with. Let's go on to Tide is High, written by Jamaican artists John Holtz, and more so popularized by, like I said, Atomic Kitten, very, very favorite band of mine. We're talking about accurate singing of the intervals, especially the major sevenths. Let me try to do about 12 to 14 for you. It's not the things you do that tease and hurt me bad. Then you have lyrics which are about fighting and being number one. The song itself over here says, you know, I'm going to be your number one. That's typical reggae. Then you have breath control and managing the intervals. The 29th and the 25th bar says number one. You hold it there. Long phrases and quaver rests which needs articulation. Example, bar 16 says, I'm not the kind of girl Who gives up just like that? Oh no! There's a rest there. Quick rests. I think now we can listen to this piece and just observe and listen to the professionals sing it while I sit back and sing it alone. Yeah.
Okay, here it goes. Oops, sorry. It's dancing all over the place.
The tide is high, but I'm holding on. I'm gonna be your number one. I'm not the kind of girl who gives up just like that. Oh no, it's not the things you do that tease and hurt me bad, but it's the way you do the things you do to me. I'm not the kind of girl who gives up just like that. Oh no, the tide is high, but I'm holding on. I'm gonna be your number one, number one. Every girl wants you to be her man. Better wait, my dear, till it's my turn. I'm not the kind of girl who gives up just like that. Oh no, the tide is high, but I'm holding on. I'm gonna be your number one, number one.
What a great example of the reggae style. Absolutely perfect. There is another song that is very popular, right, Faith?
Yes, ma'am.
Which one is it?
Should we let them guess, ma'am? Since it's in our
Syllabus. Anybody?
Anybody?
Almost everybody does
Three
it.
Little Birds. Saloni
Yay.
Desai first.
Yes. Who doesn't know Three Little Birds? Right. So we are moving on now to a wonderful, wonderful style, soul. All the feeling, all the emotion, all the pathos, it comes through in this style. And Anson, will you take it away?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is a soulful genre. Soul music is a style of African American music that was developed from rhythms and blues in USA in 1950s and the 60s. It has its roots in the American gospel music and the rhythms and blues. And as you all know, it also has its roots from the earlier genre Motown and a lot of other genres like R&B, etc. Soul music became really popular for dancing and listening. And during the civil rights movement, it also became really popular around the world, directly influencing rock music and the music of Africa as well. Yes, and soul music has got a lot of catchy rhythms, stressed hand claps, and impromptu body moves that are very important feature of this genre. Let's see some of the characteristics of soul. Strong influence from blues, gospel, and R&B, and a lot of intense and emotional vocals, usually involving the upper chest register. Emphasis on rhythm section and a lot of hand claps, storms, etc. And there were a lot of emphasis on blues note in singing and while improvising. Also took influence from the pentatonic scale as well. Now, you all know Aretha Franklin, Queen of Soul. And this song, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You, is a classic example of soul genre. Yes, talking about the characteristics of the song: intense and strong voice, and a lot of right up front accents right at the beginning itself. The style, it borrows its style from Barstwell and third bar lyric style used in the blues genre. There is a lot of shifts across chest register to falsetto and back to chest register. Involves a lot of call and response singing. Also, there are a lot of advanced singing styles like high breath control, a lot of bending of notes, a lot of melismatic singing. There is a lot of blues inflected notes as well. And declamatory phrases also proves that this is a classic example of soul genre. Let me invite Megha again to demo this song.
Hi.
Before Megha demos the song, I'm sure you've read all the compliments that you got on your last performance. And
Yes.
I just wanted to say hello to Alphonse if he's here. Haven't seen you in a long time. So I think that is going to spur you on to even put up a better performance. Yes, Megha.
Okay. I can't sleep at night, and I can't eat a bite. I guess I'll never be free since you got your hooks in me. Oh, yeah, yeah. I ain't never loved a man. I ain't never loved a man. I ain't never loved a man. No, 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 oh, no, no.
Thank you, Megha. Wonderful, wonderful. This portion, you made it sound very simple, but I'm sure it's not easy to sing
It's not
at all.
hard.
But great performance. We're really grateful to you for being here and doing this for us. So we are moving on now to the last song, and what else can it be but rock? Yes, Anson.
Yes. Now, who here doesn't like rock music? Everybody loves rock music, right, everyone? Yes, put up your favorite rock song in the chat box. Yes, rock is a broad music genre of popular music that originated as rock and roll in the United States in the early 1940s and 1950s. It has its roots in 1940s and 1950s rock and roll, a style that drew directly from the blues and the rhythm and blues genre of the American and African American communities and from the country music. It developed into a range of different styles, fusing very well with styles like pop, reggae, blues, country, and even Indian music as well. There is a lot of Indian music that is influenced by rock. Anyone knows any Indian music that is fused with rock? Chat box is open for you. It is also present in many of the Bollywood hits, just like I mentioned, and it's a testimony to a popular appeal and versatility. Looking into the characteristics of rock music, yes, everybody knows that rock tone, an amplified electric guitar with a distorted sound, yes, that gives all the energy for rock musicians to rock. Musical modes such as Dorian and Mixolydian and the pentatonic scales are used apart from the major and minor scales. Harmonies are strong and wide range, involving common triad, parallel perfect fourths and fifths. There are also a lot of usages with extended chords and dissonant progressions as well. It's usually very high pitched and uses the upper register and also the falsetto registers for vocals as well. Let's move on to the song. Yes, what better song than Stairway to Heaven? featured in grade 8. In this song, most of the time the singer uses the belt registers to sing. There is a lot of intense and loud voicing which demands high breath control and stamina, involves a lot of loud voices and almost like controlled screams. Vibratos are often used to create interest on long notes as well. Tonal variations are really common because of the high voice variants that are happening in the singing. There's belting register, and there are a lot of long phrases that uses really high amount of breath, and this is often involved to showcase the vocalist's capability and to add expressiveness. Now, moving on to demoing this song, I'm going to sit back a little bit because it's going to get loud. I'm going to start from bar number 60, that is midway till the end of the song. And it involves a lot of high pitched notes, so please wish me luck.
You're going to manage it just fine, Anson.
Thank you, ma'am. Your head is humming and it won't go, in case you don't know. The piper's calling you to join him. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind? And as we wind down the road, our shadows taller than our soul. There walks a lady we all know, who shines white light out wants to show how everything will turn to gold. And if you listen very hard, the tune will come to you at last. When all the one and one is all, yeah, to be a rock and not a and she's buying a stairway to heaven.
I think
you.
Anson needs a round of applause for this. It
Thank you,
was
ma'am. Thank you.
really beautiful, and holding those notes for what, 12 counts, I think?
Yes, ma'am.
That was really something. Awesome, Anson. Thank you so much. And so, you know what rock is all about. You can't not know after this performance. And with that, we come to the end of today's webinar. I hope you've enjoyed it. Our next webinar and last in this series features keyboards next Monday, 26 September at 7 p.m. And we'll have the boys from Kochi back again. We will have Anson and we will have Gopal this time to present. Thank you very much, everyone. And please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us. We're always there for you. See you soon again. Good night. Thank you very much, team. Very
Thank you,
well
ma'am.
done.